What is going on, you guys? It is Mr. Game & Squatch here today with a part 2 from yesterday's video of me trying to restore the deadlines on this Game Boy DMG-01. And as you remember from yesterday's video, this glass screen wasn't here the last time. I had actually borrowed this off of a shell that I had kept after doing a reshelling of it from a Game Boy I had bought from my friend King Games 98. Because I didn't really feel like wasting money on a new shell when this one, it's scratched up, but it's not horrible. You can barely even really tell when you're playing the game if it wasn't for the light. And so, as I said yesterday, I'm going to show you how to be able to take this apart and be able to get into where we were doing the soldering and all that. And so to start off, you're going to have the battery cover off, and as you can see, I've already done the unscrewing for you so we can shorten up this video. And so you're going to take 6 tri-wing screws out of from here, here, and these two up here. Which will then, you have to be careful when you're opening this up, because as you can see, there is a ribbon cable in here. And obviously I've already disconnected it, but when you're taking it apart, the best thing to do is probably slip your finger in there, and then you're going to try and pull that out of that socket. Just pulling it straight down, and that'll take care of that. You still want to be careful, of course, without ripping it or, you know, damaging the connector and all that. And then here comes the hard part. Kind of a hard part, kind of not. Depends on how lazy you are, like me. There are 10, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9? I thought there was 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Phillips head screws in here. And so even though I took the liberty to take out the other 6, I should have taken the liberty of taking out these 10. But you live and learn, I guess so. Because even though you guys didn't get to see this, I had already previously recorded a video just before I'm recording this one, and I guess I was going too long because my camera decided to stop recording as I was talking and putting this back together. So yeah, because I'm a professional YouTuber, obviously, but we're not going to go into that little vent. That's just, you know, I can't complain. I got this camera for free from my Aunt Lisa, and, you know, God love her, because this is a really nice camera, especially for taking pictures, taking videos. I do a lot of my YouTube video recordings with it, but it's just, if it goes like 20 something minutes long, you're pushing your luck. If it gets to 30 minutes, you better wrap up your video, because it's gonna stop. It'll randomly just stop recording, and you won't even notice, because it won't say, you know, it doesn't say like, oh, out of memory, or won't make a noise or nothing. It's just, you just look up at your camera and then boom, it's dead. Not really dead, but it'll just say standby and it's not recording. Yeah, so that's the fun part. So that's why I'm trying to make this video short and sweet for you guys, and also for the camera. Now when you go to take this apart here, the original factory glue for these things, if you haven't taken your Game Boy apart before, which I would assume you haven't because you're watching this video, you're going to want to kind of finesse it a little bit. You're going to hear some cracking and some groaning and stuff out of this. You're going to be careful, and it'll come up because all around the edge here is glue. This rubber part will actually be on here, but because I took it apart before to be able to solder and fix up the ribbon cable, it doesn't stay now, but that's not the point. So that's how you'll be able to take that apart. And using a soldering iron, this isn't on, of course, because I don't want to burn myself again, nor do I, you know, need to fix this any more than it already is. You're going to be taking your soldering iron after you scrape off whatever glue or tape that was holding down your rubber piece there, and you're going to be using the hot piece to be able to kind of rub back and forth where the ribbon lies up here. You can kind of work down here to kind of shape the ribbon cable a little bit so that it's kind of more bent. Let me try and zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. Up, up. Back it up. Back it up. Come on. Focus. Okay. So yes, you're going to be rubbing your soldering iron right along here, as you can kind of see from the rubbings there, and also along the edge here, so that you're reforming and reactivating the golden lines that rub in this little ribbon cable here up, and fixing up the pixels that run in here, because there's a polarizing film that is behind this little glass piece here. And so you got to be careful with that, because you don't want to go, I think it's above 100. I think it's 180 Celsius, which is like 400 degrees, I think, would be like the melting point for this. So stick to about like 200 or 300, I think. So this is Celsius, so I was using 300 Celsius. That is not good. But you just have to be careful with using your soldering iron however you set it to. And you also just don't want to hold it on there, and because then you will burn it. You'll never be able to fix this thing, and it'll be completely wasted. And so with that, showing you guys how to be able to take that apart. What was that? There was just this little white ball that was in here. I don't know. Okay. So with that, we're going to put this back together. You want to make sure your little speaker lines up with the little notch in there so that it will sit back in there flushly. We're going to put the 10 screws back in, the 10 Phillips head screws back into their respective places. And then I don't know why I keep saying we. Guess it's the other voices in my head that want to chime up. We'll show you the end result of our fruits of labor from the previous video, where we spent close to 24 or 25 minutes just trying to get most of it done. I actually ended up finishing it up off camera because my camera was about to die, of course. And so then that's when I wrapped it up. And I promised I would show you guys in this video of it being done. And you know what? Just for saving time, I'm going to just reattach the ribbon cable. No, I'm not going to do that actually. You know what? It's very cheap of me to try and just save time, especially since I don't want to have to open this back all up after the camera and all that. So sorry, I'm a little bit more indecisive than Facebook with the see all button on their marketplace tab. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it. I don't know if it's just me, but freaking marketplace, whenever they have, like, you know, the different categories like home and decor, video games, newly listed in your area or whatever, there's always the, you know, see all tab. And it's almost like every other day they decide to change it from having like the 2 or 4 listings on the preview part, and the see all would be like on the bottom of those 4, or they'll have it up on the top right corner of that little tab of whatever the category is. And it's so freaking annoying because you don't expect it. You're sitting there trying to see the rest of whatever related search it is, and you go and just either hit the wrong button and look at a wrong listing, and then the Facebook algorithm reads that you want to look at purses, even though you were looking at Game Boy Micros or something. I don't know, it's just using that as an example. Yeah, it's just the whole thing. I don't know why I'm just rambling on so that you guys probably don't care. We're almost done with this. We have a couple screws left, but my hand is freaking cramping up, man. That's the one thing that's kind of bad about this, that sucks about this, is your hand really starts to cramp up, and I am left-handed, so if I tried using my right, I would definitely be risking breaking something, that's for sure. We'll back out of that a little bit so that it's not just a whole view full of my wrist. And we're almost done with this. We are in the last screw. Okay. And now we will be reattaching the ribbon cable, and that is in itself a very hard thing to do, especially when you're trying to do this on a camera. It's hard to do unless I had a GoPro, but even then it takes a little bit of faith to try and get it in there without completely demolishing this ribbon cable. There we go. Okay, we're in. like a 90s hacker. We're in. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this together so I don't have to worry about doing the outer screws. At least that's easier than putting in 10 screws. Okay, we'll put in Pokemon Blue, and there we go. See? No dead lines. All the pickles readjust. And everything works just fine. And that is the end result. That's how you take apart your Game Boy and pretty much put it back together as well. And that's the gist of being able to fix the deadlines on your DMGs. And if you haven't, go ahead and check out yesterday's video to be able to see the progress from what this used to look like to now. Maybe drop a like on either one of the videos. I would very much appreciate it. And if you want to, subscribe. And I hope you guys stay safe, stay happy, and game on.